Hello, everybody, and welcome in to another exciting episode of Bloody Good Horror. My name's Eric, and I'll be your host for this evening, where we will be reviewing The Watchers. Joining me first up tonight from Manhattan, New York City, please welcome John Schnars to the show.
Hello, Eric.
And
should we all do Irish accents? I can't really.
Is that what I'm doing?
I think you should do one, actually.
Oh, mine's not very good, actually. Joining us tonight, straight from the weird co-ed naked Russian spa, please welcome Matilda to the show.
Hey.
Just hanging out at the Russian bathhouse.
Where
California,
else
man.
You gotta hang somewhere.
Right. This is one of those movies, John, that like 5 minutes in, you start questioning your life choices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then your like fight or flight responses kick in. I knew this was going to be a good one. I had already seen it, so I knew it was going to be a good one. But then when you started texting me during the movie, then I started getting excited for the show.
I felt weird sending it to the whole group, so I was like, I know Eric saw this already. I'm just going to text him. This was like Tuesday afternoon. And
were you confident that I also didn't like it?
No, I had no idea. I had no idea, but I was like, if Eric likes this, like, I'm fine. Like, we can just have like not a relationship anymore. You know? This can be the thing. But yeah, you came back, and I was like, oh boy, because I was only when I texted.
I think I just wrote back, yeah, it's god awful or something like that.
I was only like 30 minutes into the movie. It gets so much worse. Like, it really continues to go downhill.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been waiting for this all week, John, and I need it. Yeah. So let's take a quick break and talk about The Watchers.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. From the prime time. Main feature.
You also, John, were real high in your own supply today about your word of the day.
Eric, it's so rare anymore that I come up with a word of the day while we're not doing the show. So I was like, I was saying pre-show, I think it was like 11:30, and I had a meeting at noon, and I was like, oh, you know what I can do? I'll look up some words of the day. And
I'm impressed you had a meeting. You don't even have a job. How'd you have a meeting?
Dude, it turns out you got to have a lot of meetings even when you don't have a job. Sometimes you have the meetings just to try to get a job. So
that's true. All right, let's do it. Please bring us the word of the day.
Eric, today's word is vivarium. That's vivarium, vivarium. An enclosure, container, or structure adapted or prepared for keeping animals under semi-natural conditions for observation or study or as pets.
That is very good.
Other words you might recognize: aquarium or terrarium. So
vivarium strikes me as something that's been the name of a video game at some point. That's what that sounds like to me.
For what? Say again, sorry.
A video game. I feel like
it's totally possible. It comes to us from the Latin vivare, which means to live.
Ooh, love it. Yeah. All right, John, tell me about The Watchers. Who did this come from? Who do I hold responsible?
Yeah, I mean, look, if we want to be kind of like a little nasty about it, we might call this a Nepo movie. I assume that is how it's being talked about online, because like everyone online is nasty as far as I am to understand.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Before you get into this, speaking of a Nepo movie, first tell me who directed this.
It's directed by Ishana Shyamalan. You might recognize that last name as she is the daughter of one M. Night.
Did anyone else get the trailer for M. Night's new movie before this?
Yes.
Sure did.
With Josh Hartnett. I literally could not believe what I was seeing. I was like, this looks like Showgirls bad.
So in.
I also felt that way. I think well, we'll see. I don't know. Like the buzz that I had read is like not terrible on it. But
They
like
set up the whole concert as a sting for a serial killer, and the guy at the food court knows about it.
yeah, well, no, I love that. I love that. Well, and also like is that the best way to catch a serial killer? Like it's there's like thousands of police there. Like I don't know, whatever.
It's perfect to show it before this movie because I was already incensed before it started, and then it just didn't
yeah.
get any better.
Well, all right. And like I'm just going to say this because who gives a shit, but like Josh Hartnett's the serial killer, right? Like he is the serial killer. Is that the twist?
Yes. No, that's not the
Okay.
twist. It's in the trailer.
Do they say that?
Yeah. Because he's in the bathroom, and so he hears that. First
Yeah.
of all, he goes to the bathroom, and he looks at his phone, and there's a live feed of a girl in his basement, basically.
Oh,
A basement.
Yeah.
I see. I
And
missed
he's just
that
like,
part.
ooh, he like gets off for a second. Then he goes, and the guy at the concession stand says that to him, and then he panics.
Oh, great. You know what then? I might be in on this movie if they give you the twist up front and then it's like
You think that's the only twist, John?
I mean,
Do you think?
like it turns out serial,
sure about
serial
that?
killers are good? Like I don't know. It's the
Well, and then the other daughter is playing the singer. that
Oh,
movie.
that's
Do you know that?
that's M Night's
did.
It's
other
another
That's even worse.
Oh, I just like
who wrote
assumed that the
a lot of
singer-
original music. Yeah.
Oh boy. I assumed the singer was like an actual pop star that I just didn't know because I don't like know a lot of them either.
Nope. Original
boy.
music.
Oh boy. Guys, I'm excited for this now.
I'm in.
I think it's like the last week of July or first week of August or something like that. It's yeah. So I think it's called Blinding Light or Blinding something is the name of the
Trap.
No, well, Trap
the
is the
one?
name of no. His studio. That's M Night's studio.
Oh, I
that
see.
produced this movie. And then here's the thing with him. He's putting his money into these movies. It's not like so when we say this is a Nepo movie, like M Night is like putting his money behind his kids and like I support that. Like great. What we should spend time talking about and we will is like why he can't spend money to help them make a good movie. That, like, to me is the weird thing. So,
Did you see his last movie?
yeah, it
Like
was
Knock
bad.
at the Cabin or whatever. Like
So,
he-
but like that was fine bad. Like that
he
was like
somehow
okay
made
bad.
a comeback, and then has been slowly veering back into the bullshit that made him
Yeah.
need to have a comeback in the first place.
Yeah.
Like all over again.
Yeah. Well, this is like the most extreme version.
This
I
is
would say.
that. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
his worst. One of his. It's like a sequel to Lady in the Water. That's my review.
Yeah. And let's wrap it up. Do we have any questions on Instagram? Yeah. So
tell me
yeah,
about it.
that's it. Do you want the story? The story is about. Oh fuck! Hold on. Oh, I should say, and this is. I did not do enough research ahead of time. This is from a book by a writer named A.M. Shine. So there is like a sort of underlying novel here. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, or a they are Galway based, like they're based in Ireland. Like the book is like set in Ireland, because this is the other thing, this movie is set in fucking middle of nowhere Ireland. I don't know, like M. Night had a pretty good thing going with suburban Philadelphia. He lives there, he knows what's going on there, he like it's like a thing he gets. They were like, no, we're gonna go to like middle of nowhere in Ireland. That is where the writer's from, so like okay. A.M. Shine co-wrote the screenplay with Ishana, and then Ishana directs. Dakota Fanning plays the main character, who I did not recognize. I've seen like 10
I
Dakota
did.
Fanning movies, and I was like, oh, who the hell is this? And then I was like, oh, Dakota Fanning. Yeah, there she is. So she plays Mina. Mina works at a pet store and is asked to drive a bird.
You read a Wikipedia article about Dracula. Congratulations.
So
Nina.
she's asked to drive a bird and to a zoo. who wants this bird. It's a parrot it's like a somewhat exotic looking bird. She like drives it through a secret woods that's not on any map, but that is on the way to the zoo that she's driving to, because she like maps it and the map tells her to like go there. Now she gets into this woods and the like map starts going weird. Like all the electronics start going weird. Like the woods is bad or like weird. And then she goes into a room. She's like taken into a room by this older woman. Sorry.
Did you recognize that older woman, John?
I did in the trailer. Where do we know her from?
She played modern day. I think character's name is Sally in that god awful Texas Chainsaw movie.
Oh yeah.
Is it Sally?
Yeah.
Hardison,
She's like
right?
like the
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee
stand-in.
Curtis from
Yeah.
New Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was cool in that. I like that. I liked her in Texas Chainsaw. Her name is Olwen Fuere. I don't know. Madeline. So she takes her into a room that's like just a freestanding room in the middle of this woods. Daniel and Ciara are also there. It turns out this is a vivarium where they now can't leave the room during the evening while it's dark, because the watchers come to watch them and they will be killed. But they can during the day go out and do whatever they want, and they like hunt and presumably live off of the food that they find when they're hunting, which is like a bird and then some like shrubs or something. Yes. I don't know. There is like a TV and they can like watch one DVD of a reality show or something.
John, I want you to know how hard I'm trying right now to not interrupt you to complain about everything.
Well, all right. So basically, what you have is Mina as like the new person in this setup where you have these three people who have kind of been like making it or trying to survive for the last. So I think Madeline says we never find out how long Madeline's been there, but the other two have been there like 8 or 9 months, or maybe like 3 or 4 months in Ciara's universe. Ciara's husband was with her, but he tried to escape. The other piece of the setup is there's like a ring around which like you're not going to be able to make it back. They call it like point of no return. Even though the days have different lengths and the ring should like contract or expand in theory, but it doesn't. That's like a whole separate thing. And so then it's like, what are they going to do? They are being watched now. Guess what? A lot of shit happens. Like many, many, many things happen even after they get out of this woods.
Okay, Matilda, what'd you think?
Okay. So here's my one twist. Knowing who this director was, I was super excited for it this year. This was one of my like anticipated ones this year because I love the Apple TV series Servant.
It gave a good trailer.
Yeah. And I love Servant. It's so weird. It's so twisty. It's so effective. They don't tell you much and it's fucking wild. And she's involved with that? Like she has directed several, I think 6 episodes of that show. Okay. And so I was pretty excited about this because that show does not over-explain anything to you. And it goes places you do not see coming. And it's beautiful. This movie, when I left the theater, my first thing I wrote down was, what if Lost was not good? Like that's the first thing, the first sentence.
I 100% had that same thought while I was sitting there at one point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think she's, I think a 24-year-old director. So I do think that there's potential here. Some of these shots are gorgeous, especially the textural ones of the woods. Some of the shots are very competent. But this movie did not achieve its goals, and it had a lot of goals. It had too many goals, as far as I was concerned. It was a fairy tale and a sci-fi.
Impenetrable, unknowable goals.
That they somehow over-explained to me. though.
There's
Like
so
it
much
was
explaining.
fairy tale and sci-fi and fantasy and folk horror and kind of eco horror and something about survivor guilt and surveillance reality TV voyeurism and something about twinship and false self. And unfortunately, it did not land any of it for me. And unfortunately, as we went along, the more that was revealed, the less interested I became.
Mm-hmm.
And that broke my heart a little bit because I was like, I felt like a like you're going to see your friends play and you're like, oh, I really want you to do well. And then you're like, what am I going to say nice in the lobby afterwards? What am I going to say nice? That's kind of what it felt like.
That's so sweet that your mind works that way.
The seats were comfy.
I had the theater to myself. That was fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, ultimately, I think I'm interested to see what else this director can do, but this was tough. I do think there's a movie that could have been made here where they told me nothing, and I just looked at shots, and there was less script, and I think I could have been a little more in for longer.
Matilda,
but
I feel
that was
like
not the movie I saw.
We might be kindred spirits because one of the other thoughts I thought about the Lost thing. The other thought I had is I was like, if someone just handed this movie and nothing else to an editor and was like, there's no dialogue. You can't use any dialogue.
Yeah.
Just like make a movie and it has to be at least an hour long. I think you could actually cut this thing together with no dialogue and it would be 10 times more interesting than the actual movie they showed.
I think
because the
you're crazy if you
clunky.
think there's an hour of non-dialogue in this movie.
Well,
they're always talking.
There's a lot of talking.
And
You're
explaining.
Right. All right. So maybe there's some cutting room floor. Like maybe there's some extended takes. Right. Look, there's a lot of just like shots of the woods I would have been fine with. The woods they're in are scenic. I just looked. So the director of photography, the only feature that it's a gentleman named Eli Aronson. The only feature they've done that I was familiar with or have seen is Lamb. Remember Lamb? I don't know. We didn't cover it on the show, but I love that movie. And yeah, I mean, I agree with Matilda. Like visually, this movie is interesting. Like again, if you just turn the volume down and watch it, it'll be weird because there's a lot of shot reverse shot of people talking, but there's also a lot of voiceover that you don't need. Like you just turn it. There's like many scenes where there's like voiceover and or explaining happening over the top, where you could enjoy the visual. It has similar aesthetic to some of the M. Night stuff, I feel like, but in an okay way, like in a way I'm fine with. Yeah, I mean, look, like there's Matilda, you actually like named more subgenres than I even would have gotten to. Like to me, this is a perfect example of it doesn't matter how good of a director you are if you don't realize in reading the script that it is a complete pile of garbage, then like what are you doing? Like just
listen, the Lady in the Water comparison, yes, I'm making a joke, but it's actually dead on because both of those movies are written by people that think they are like the deepest humans alive and they are not. Like,
well, she's 24 years old. Like, how could she be the deepest human alive?
So fine, that's fine. Then you shouldn't be making movies that are in theaters, and your dad shouldn't think that he's that deep at 50 or whatever.
But why, as a first time out, do you have to try to write this like super complicated, frankly convoluted? Even a good version of this script, what it does is it cuts out 80% of the plot. And just like
let's
tries
stop trying
to
to fix it and start talking about how broken it is, though.
No, well, there's like, I mean, look, there's a question of like what works. Like what I thought Dakota Fanning was fine. Like she's pretty good. If anything, she's like doing a decent job. The other actors I thought were almost unwatchable. The woman from the older Madeline, she is really not good.
Is terrible.
She's asked to say lines though that are absurd.
I have a very specific thought about her, and it is that she should only be cast in fantasy period pieces. Like you put her in like Game of Thrones, her acting style makes perfect sense. It's a very like stagey Shakespearean kind of delivery. It does not make sense in any modern context whatsoever. And she is like kind of has to carry this movie and does a just terrible job of doing that. Like it's
in an interactive theater Renaissance fair, fucking killing it. Right?
Yes.
I mean, I think the argument that Ishana made to herself is like, well, in the end, that'll all be explained by like the transformation that this character goes through. But it's like at that point, you're so irate with this movie that you're just like, what are we, like, no. So yeah, I don't know. Look, go ahead, Eric, because like,
can I go now, John?
Yeah, like I could rip on a bunch of different things, but we'll get to it. Yeah.
All right. This movie's one of this movie's biggest problems is it has a show and tell problem, right? Like it has George Lucas Star Wars prequel disease that it can't show me anything. It's got to fucking tell me everything. And in some cases it tells me things it just showed me.
Yes.
And those were the moments when I was losing my mind.
Yeah. That was when I texted you. I was
it
just
does
like,
it right
shit.
out of the gate though. So 5 minutes into this movie, there's a scene which, unless I miss something, actually does not mean anything to the film whatsoever. Well, okay, maybe there's like a analogy in there with the like shape shifting, but so we see her. She's got a job in like the Duke of pet stores, basically this like fancy bespoke pet, like whatever, I don't know. And they're like, here, transport this bird across the country. Okay. Then there's like a 5 to 10 minute scene where she goes home and she dresses up and she puts on a wig and like a costume, basically, goes out to a bar, flirts with a guy and hooks up with him. Like, okay, I have a working prefrontal cortex.
We don't even get to see the hookup, by the way. It just cuts.
So I watched that scene. I watched that scene and I picked up whatever it was trying to tell me of like, okay, she has secrets, or she's living a double life, or she hasn't, she's got something from herself she's trying to escape. Like there's plenty of subtext in that scene for you to understand, like, okay, there's something deeper going on with this character. The very next scene, she gets in the car with not a human, but a bird who says something to her or makes a noise. And she goes, don't look at me like that. Sometimes I just like to pretend I'm someone else. And then she goes, you wouldn't like the real me. And I'm like, did I really need to see you talk to a fucking bird? Like, I just watched the scene. You don't have to tell me what it's supposed to mean. That was when I knew immediately we were dealing with just bullshit screenwriting, like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
They then like rush so fast to get her into this forest, right? So they get her into the forest. There's no time for any of it to breathe. We're in that Watcher house in 15 minutes. And you're thinking to yourself like, well, at least they're expediting this, but they're not, because they're just getting you there so they can give you like 90 minutes of bullshit you don't need. Like, there's no time for even any tension of being lost to build up, for her to get eased into this scenario. She is just running and in that house like instantly almost. So then they have their first evening and the Watchers come or whatever. The next day they're out wandering together and the old lady takes her to a hole, and they're like right at the hole and they're kind of looking in it. The old lady is right there, right? Then they go back to the house. Then we get the speech about the rules. This enraged me. And they're like, there's very important rules. I'm like, this bitch has been here for 24 hours. You're just telling her the rules now?
What if she had gone in the hole?
What if she had turned her back to the Watcher? They don't even tell her that rule until the next day.
Dude, the don't turn your back on the Watchers it's not even a thing. That shit
and
like happens
she says,
later.
Don't go anywhere near the holes. I'm like, you took her to the hole that day.
Yeah.
You know when would have been a good time to tell her the rule about the hole, John? When you guys were right there.
Yeah, like before you went to the hole. Yeah.
This is the problem with the whole movie. Like, it's just monologue after monologue. It's like context and mythos, and then it keeps changing and they keep adding stuff. Then somehow they didn't find the bunker underneath. It was just under like 2 flimsy carpets, even though they've theoretically been there for months and must have looked for some kind of escape route or something. Never lifted the carpet up. Even though one person was covering the floor in drawings, I didn't even see those carpets as seen before that, right? Then suddenly there's carpets in the middle of the room. So they go down and they're like watching the videos. Then there's this whole thing with the fucking professor.
Dude,
he has this
video
insane
scene,
story.
It's like 15 minutes long of her just queuing up and then pressing play on the next video. Some of them, the like little video thing is going through.
Also, John, computers from 1994, you did not have like just folders full of videos. One video would have filled up that goddamn hard drive.
Did you notice too? She would hit play and it was like playing on the TVs. And yes, the video on the screen was like super pixelated, but the video on the
video
TV
looks
was
fine.
like crisp.
Like, come on, dude.
They're like at the stereo store up there, up above. I know.
Just
It
make it
was so
videotapes,
crazy.
right? Make it videotapes or something. So like it makes sense. They're watching these videos and like, oh my god, it's. I lost my train of thought, John. What was I about?
Well,
to
he
complain
tells
about?
the entire story. Like, so at this point, they've already over-explained a bunch of stuff to you. Then they go down to this basement. You've like been like told there's this professor, but like you don't know who he is, and that's like one of the big questions. So then you go down the basement. They reveal who the professor is, and then the professor proceeds to speak to you in direct address because he's talking to his camera for 10 minutes. And like they're all sitting there watching him, and there's all these like reverse shots they keep showing where they're all just sitting there and they're like patiently watching, not speaking
And she's
to
like,
each
you're
other.
watching the mouse move across the screen. Click, click. And she closes it.
And
then
she
back across
picks
screen,
the
click, click.
perfect series of 5 out of 300 videos
Because
to tell us
right
a
at one point she skips
sequential
out like
perfect story.
dozens of videos and then clicks on the perfect one. Yeah, exactly.
Also, are we like they're also perfectly edited because each
wait.
one is like a minute long.
I know what I was going to complain about though. So as he's telling this story of basically the professor was obsessed with like, you tell me, Matilda, like fae, is that the right word for this? Like these fairy
Sure.
folk, these mythological fairy folk who were like used to live. It was very Game of Thrones actually. They used to live in harmony with the people, and then there was a war, and they were like banished, whatever. And so he really believes in this, and so he came out to these woods, and he had. I have a problem with this story, John. He explains
God.
that the way he made this bunker was by hiring basically like day workers to come out to this place and build this bunker, and then they were dying. Everyone that went
Every day
so,
he would go inside and they
13
would all
a day.
die.
13 a
so
day.
every day he says
Where
this
was
that
he
would
going?
hold on, at the end of the day he says he would quietly slip into the bunker as the sun was going down and they would just all get murdered.
But how
So
did the
here's
bunker
my-
get built?
Here's my many questions. Where did he stay the first night? Because surely that bunker was not built in a day.
No, it was a super.
This is a
intricate
very
bunker.
small area. Like the towns around this place, how many people were disappearing? No one like raised a red flag. He couldn't leave the. How was he getting people there? Because he couldn't leave the forest, right? He was leaving the forest. Isn't it the whole thing? You can't leave.
Dude. Why
Until the
did
end, I
his
guess,
Why did
when they
his
just walk out.
technology work and none of the other technology worked that they brought into?
Like he
the
knew where the
forest?
boat was. Isn't that how they found out where the boat was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
And
whole
wasn't
story.
he specific? Am I making this up that he said it was 13 men a day
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the thing.
from a
That's so many
local
people
town
that
that
just
didn't have
disappear.
families? What kind of town is this?
No, it's yeah. Yeah, that story, like at that point,
I mean, and that whole sequence changes the entire story and introduces like a whole new movie, basically.
yeah. Well, so at that point though, as a viewer of this film, as a watcher, if you will, you've already given up. Like if you're still with the movie at that
Oh,
point,
it's over
you're
that,
like
yeah.
off your rocker. And like at that point, you're just like, this is fucking crazy. At that point, I was just like, how much longer can this movie possibly be? Here's the thing, to your point, there's like, I don't know, a third of the movie. That's the beginning of the final act. Because now they escape from the forest, which is like a whole sequence.
If she was a daywalker, why couldn't she just escape at any time? Did she not know that until they?
No, she No, she was like studying the people. Dude, no fucking part of this makes sense. How
Does that mean
long...
one of them had sex with a human? That's what I'm to believe. So, but then like, but at the end, like she just walks out, but there wasn't, she could have done that at any time.
Well, here, my question is like, how many people have been to this bunker and been killed? Because they've only been there a couple months, but this bunker and the professor, like the video they're watching is like 10 years old. The like DVD. It's like from like
longer than
2007
that. It was like
or
early
something.
90s, I thought.
Oh, maybe. I thought it was
computer
like
stuff.
early. I thought it was like early 2000s, but the computer stuff was definitely from the 90s.
90s,
Yeah. So he's
And the
been dead, like,
newspaper in the
20
hole
years.
was 90s. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So, like, how many people have been through this bunker? Because she, Madeline, has presumably been there the whole time. The bunker has power. Where does the power come from? Is there
They
a
make
fucking
an
nuclear
offhanded
generator
comment
there?
about how the professor managed to create some kind of power source.
But they didn't say what it was. They were just like, there's a power source. But, and this is where, like, none of the rest of the technology. She drives her car into this woods, and then the car immediately shuts down. And it's just like, I don't know, car doesn't work anymore. You know, like...
Oh,
So-
but like runes go across the radio first,
Yeah.
because
Well,
it's
and
a
then
little
the car
on the nose,
disappears.
as most.
Here's
of
the
this.
other thing. When the Watchers want to get into the bunker, they get in very
They get in
easily.
extremely easily.
It's not like hard.
That's what it is. So, like, there's rules, and if they break the rules, they die. But then that completely defeats the purpose of what the Watchers are doing, which is using them to learn how to mimic them. So why would there be any rules, and why would they want to kill them at all if they were trying to study them?
Yeah. Well, and do the Watchers know what the deal is with Madeline? Like, is she one of it with
Somebody
them?
like suggested that, is that why they don't attack her when she's out of the bunker?
Oh,
Now she's
when-
with a human,
Yeah.
but is that why they don't catch them?
Maybe.
Because
Yeah. Because there is a whole, she's like, oh, the smell will protect us of like whatever. It's like, you know, some fucking bush or something.
oh, the bird. I didn't even mention the bird.
Dude, oh, you mean
the whole movie.
when he said,
You're
so
muted,
she
John,
keeps the
there.
bird. This drove me crazy from the very beginning. I'm like, oh, cool, your car broke down in the woods. First thing you do, you punt that fucking bird cage like, as far as you can, and
Or
just sort
eat
of
it.
like, peace. Meanwhile, she's like keeping it alive with them. She also,
but
at
its
one
name
point,
is Darwin, so it's part of the philosophy of the movie, John.
At one point, she's like, the seasons began to change. This is where I'm like, okay, so the days are shorter, but there's this like point of no return that's based on how much daylight you have
You can
before.
traverse in a day.
Yeah. But also, how long are you keeping this bird alive? Like, I don't know. Like, they had bird food. They were feeding it something. It had food in the cage with it.
There is a scene like in one of the hunting montages. If you kind of look, they've like placed some food. I don't even think you see him do it, but I could tell there was like scraps in the bottom of the cage.
So then the doctor does this, like, the professor, he's like, you must follow the birds to the boat. Well, first of all, why do you need the birds? Because, like, he tells you which direction to walk, and, like, you just walk. But they let this bird out of the cage. The bird starts flying away.
Because it's like the
I've
birds
seen
leave.
birds. They
the
fly pretty
birds-
quickly.
Oh yeah, they're just light jogging and keeping up with this bird.
They're not even jogging. They're, like, walking, and the birds,
Because
like, kind
we
of, like,
see
weaving
the
back
birds
and
have to leave every night, I guess, right? Or
Yeah,
they'll get
yeah.
killed, I guess.
I don't know. The Fae
Why
are not
wouldn't
pleased with
they
the
just
birds.
mimic a bird and fly out of there, John?
What-
So here's the best part. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't take credit for this. They escape. It's, again, so many questions. Like, why couldn't she just walk out at any given time? I have questions. But then there's this whole other part that we can talk about. But then at the end, right, she's just living with the bird, okay? And then the credits go down, and my girlfriend leans over and she's like, she stole that bird.
Well,
Because she was supposed to take it to someone.
she didn't show up at work for like a long time,
For
and so
months.
presumably,
Yeah, they probably just assumed she was dead.
yeah.
They're like, we got to get another bird.
We also, fuck, I guess we got to get another clerk for the store. That
But
bird.
the way that so I mean that when they escape, right, that feels like an ending. But then it's like there's just this, and I hate when movies do this, like 3-act structures exist for a reason. If you give me a clean 3 acts, don't then put on this bizarre little appendage at the end.
It wasn't
just makes
little.
your
It
movie
was
feel
15,
off.
20 minutes long.
Yeah. But it gets like a little mini act, and it just is the whole time you're like, it's still going.
Well, so there's this sequence where they get onto this bus, and then I'm like, great, this has got to be the end. Like I was like, it's a graduate shot, you know, it's like the 3 of them sitting at the back of the bus. I'm just like, we're done. Then the bus keeps driving and they keep talking to one another. And she's like, tomorrow I'm going to go to the professor's fucking whatever, his room at the college. Mind you, the college that he has not been to in 20 plus years. So she goes and the college lady is showing her the room. And she's like, well, some students raised some money. And so we've kept the room as it was when he left because students raised money or something.
That's not how that works.
I had so many questions. The college owns the building. Why do they need money to keep his office crap in his office?
Dude.
Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, like, all this woman had to do was just be like, yeah, I'm his niece or whatever. And they
Yeah.
just let her in and close the door.
Yeah.
Go to town.
Yeah.
Take whatever you can find.
Yeah.
You take whatever 12th century scroll you can find in there.
Oh my god.
She immediately, like within 10 minutes of being there, she unravels the whole thing. Spoiler, Madeline was his wife. Well, there was a woman, Madeline, who was his wife. He then
Do they not figure that out until the end part? I can't remember what they figured out.
Yeah.
in
Well,
that
so she
last
finds
scene.
the pictures of Madeline, and so that's when she's like, oh no, Madeline is like related to him or like his wife. So then she goes to the woman's house, Sierra, and she's like, hey, you know, Madeline was like in on it or something. But then she realizes that actually it's not Madeline, that, and this is all then explained to you
This
too,
whole
because the
last
woman
scene.
gives like, there's like a 5-minute monologue about it. But she's like, actually, no, Madeline died of cancer. Or no, oh, sorry. She finds the obituary for Madeline. So she shows the obituary and the picture. And she's like,
Right,
look,
right.
Madeline's dead.
Yes.
So that means the person we were with was the like shape-shifting. This is also
It
like,
was a shape. So the person that they were with was a
It's the-
shapeshifter that he had trained to
Yeah.
be his wife.
he captured her. Remember, because we see that scene in the video. That's like one of the
So
last
they
scenes.
just think she's a wait. Where did the half-breed thing come in? Isn't
No, that's in the scroll. The scroll has so much fucking stuff in it. It's like,
wait?
here's
So
who
the one he
fairies
captured
are.
though was like a daywalker or something, because that's
Yeah.
how she's able. And then he trains it to mimic his dead wife.
No, I don't know that he, like, they just, like, became friends. He was, like, studying it. Now, he put it in a cage, and he was, like, studying it.
You know what would have been really interesting if we had seen any of that. With everything else they showed us, why wouldn't we just...
I mean, how long is this movie got to be, bro? That's, like, a
You
You
better
got to
movie
look at the
some level.
tapestry with the threads that she's pulling at. Did you get this?
Yes.
Oh man.
You get it?
Yeah. So then there's the battle.
Christ.
I forgot the twin stuff, Matilda, you mentioned. Like, it's literally the 15th theme that they try to inject into this movie. With 5 minutes to go, basically. Well, I guess because her
well,
and her
there's
sister
Parrot.
are twins.
And there's a parrot at the beginning, so there's the kind of
Oh, I get
mimicry
it.
of the parrot.
Yeah, but I mean, all right, that's like a little different. I mean,
And
you're
that's
right.
even like
I get
that-
it, but
That was what I was thinking in the beginning when I started talking about that opening scene, is that's kind of the same thing. It seems like it's going to be important to the plot. It's not at all, except I guess in hindsight, I'm like, oh, it's like she's pretending to be something else.
who cares though?
Think she's
Like,
not.
it literally has no
exactly.
bearing.
You don't
on
need that
any
scene.
part of the
It
story.
should not
No.
have been in the movie.
Well, we also didn't mention there is like a prequel scene or like a whatever. The true opening scene is the husband, Sierra's husband, trying to run away and getting captured, which again is just like an over-explainy scene that you don't need, other than I guess it's meant to sort of create tension and like scare
Even
us.
the scene where they break all the rules that kind of causes the transition into the fake third act, like that kid just kind of gets upset for no reason at all, not understandable, and then locks them out and then lets them in again, just long enough for it to cause the destruction of the whole building, basically. Like that was, and she just hand waves it. She's like, he's got hate inside of him or something. And you're like, okay,
Well,
what, lady?
you know what's funny is it turns out he was right, because she was
it's true.
a fairy or whatever. But again, like none of this shit when it's happening is like really making any sense. And like in retrospect, it's all just poorly handled. Like whether or not you can like rationalize it after the fact, it's still bad. It's still not fun to watch, you know?
Yeah, no, it was
and none of the
unpleasant to watch.
emotional beats hit at all.
No.
Even like the dance scene where it's their last night in the bunker and it's two of the characters are dancing and he just immediately is like, let me tell you about child abuse. My experiences of child abuse, right?
That was
like
the weirdest scene.
It's a little
That
rough.
was very strange. I actually forgot about that.
I completely forgot.
I mean, even the last scene. So she is revealed because she was impersonating the other woman who then comes home. So then she's like, I'm a daywalker or whatever. And she's like sprouts wings. That whole thing is resolved by the other girl just being like, hey, maybe you don't hurt us. Like she gives a little really weak little speech about something. And then the thing just flies away. Just
no, well,
it's not gonna kill him.
She like finally reveals like out loud, even though it's been shown to us in the movie, her like trauma of killing her mom and how.
Oh, I literally forgot about the whole plot line.
Yeah,
that scene is so messed up.
Yeah, I know. Dude, when that truck hits the car.
God. But in such a bad movie, it's just like annoying. Because it's just manipulative, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, because she and her sister are twins, right? Like that's the other twin thing. And then it's revealed at the very end that the sister's twin has twins. Like her kids are also twins. I don't know,
dude. There are so many plot lines. It's insane.
There's a
and
lot
how long
going
I
on.
meant to look. Is the
It's
movie
an hour 50 almost.
Oh my god, it felt so long.
John, you know how I feel about movies that are an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah,
You might
it's
say
the
they're
evil
20
length.
minutes too long. It is. It's the evil length. That's right. It's Satan's runtime.
The watchers would have
That's
been
what it
annoyed.
is.
Like, wrap it up, folks.
But again, if you're making an hour 50 movie, it's because you didn't nail your 3-act structure and you've got a weird appendage. If you go over 2 hours, then you're working with something, a full extra thing. That's why 150 is wrong. It's the wrong
but
answer.
even the extra thing is not good. I mean, just you can still have the 3-act structure. It's just, well, in any event.
Yes, Mike points out correctly, unless directed by Scorsese. But he doesn't make hour 50 movies. He makes 5-hour movies, and they're fucking brilliant. If he can do it, John, why can't?
It's pretty out on Killers. I was not in on that.
I didn't see it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I did watch The Irishman the first time in like 5 different sittings.
There you go. That's basically a TV show.
John out on Flowers. Didn't he wasn't that critically acclaimed, John?
No. It was critically marketed, I would say.
Oh.
I read the book, and the book is excellent and worth. It's almost faster to read the book. So.
I think I'm going to try to patent Satan's runtime. What do you think?
Yeah, please go to town.
The runtime of the beast. I think you should do it.
That's right. All right. I have a question for you guys. Would you recommend this, Matilda?
I would not.
John?
No, obviously
I thought
not.
for a second you were going to throw me for a loop there, Matilda. And also no. Sorry, John. Night Swim lives another day.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fine. Like, if you were like, I got to put this on the list, then we'd have.
All
Although I
right.
have to say, the joy I have felt in hearing your anger about it is both of you is is elevating my experience of this movie.
I wasn't wrong when I said
excited
I needed the show this week so I could get it out. All right, let's take a quick break and do some fan mail.
Send feedback to info@bloodygoodhorror.com or on Twitter using hashtag AskBGH. Join Patreon to get back episodes and much more. Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror.
And we're back. Rachel's not here this week, John, so no one was talking over the bumper.
I'm very well trained to keep my mouth shut, so
It's true. And no Casey, so it's all me this week, John.
Any emails?
No emails. No.
Caitlin. Uh-oh.
There was one from Caitlin, but it's not really a reader for the show.
Oh, okay. She was just checking in on you.
Yeah, just want to make sure I was doing it right. Let's see. First up, should we do threads? I guess we do threads first. Never mind.
Look, bro, you're in charge. You do you.
How do I find?
Oh, no.
Hell? Okay, threads. Okay. Oh, this is a great warm-up question from Skylar. What's the most trouble you ever got in with your parents? I got away with a lot of shit. My parents were not very confrontational, so I would use that to my advantage.
My parents generally tolerated a lot of tomfoolery. The angriest I can remember my dad being was that I hurt my sister. You know, we were like fighting, like teenager, like tween kid fighting. This was like pre-high school for sure. And he was like super pissed because I like probably did something like very disrespectful and injurious. That's like the angriest, but it was like, you know, and like maybe I was like grounded for like a couple days or something, but I more or less.
My mom
did a
would
lot of bad
ground
shit.
me and then feel guilty and then like end it early.
Yeah.
I never learned a lesson, John.
Well, I think I've talked about on the show, like I was like a very good student. Like I like got good grades and like did not cause trouble in school and was, you know, generally well regarded by the teachers and the faculty. And so like I could kind of do whatever I wanted as long as I delivered good grades. That was sort of like the tete-a-tete that we had in the house.
I wouldn't say that I had good grades, but they were passable enough.
Yeah. I'm with you, John. I could like get in quite a bit of, or get away with quite a lot as long as the grades were decent.
Yeah.
My parents were kind of the like permissive, everybody said they were at my house kind of parents.
Nice.
But I did get arrested when I was 13 for shoplifting. And
Matilda.
they were
For
not
shoplifting?
thrilled about that.
You and Joe. What did you shoplift?
So it was 1987. So I shoplifted a silver lame camisole.
Even those words.
Yeah, right? It's like
Lame.
straight out of a Morris Day and the Time song. Yeah, that's what I shoplifted. And I got arrested and like an example was made of me. But yeah, that was the angriest I've ever seen them. I think, but generally I was a pretty good kid. I was like the Girl Scout kid who like when my friends did drugs, I was like, have you had vitamin C with that? Because I think you need to replenish. I read that, you know, like that's kind of more who I was. I don't have a good tolerance for danger.
I did when I was
Like
a
getting in
teenager.
trouble. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
did they like take you to the police station or was it like you got
Yes.
like kind of like, oh, wow.
Yes.
That's
It was like
surreal.
the movie 13 kind of scene in my junior high. Do you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of world. And then by like, it's kind of like what happens to girls sometimes. Like early adolescence is rough. And then by mid adolescence, we kind of even out. So
Okay.
Wild.
I'll keep my fingers crossed on that.
Did not have Matilda getting arrested on the bingo card. Rachel adds, I was once grounded for a full year. Probably explains some things.
Wow.
That's true.
I was just like, it's really funny. I'm really thinking about, I did a ton of shit as a kid, but I never really got much trouble. I was telling this story recently because my daughter was like, doesn't want to wear a helmet on her bike. And she's like complaining about it. She's like 8. But New York passed the helmet law on bikes the year, and the law was like, I think you had to be 15 to ride your bike without a helmet. And I was 14 the year they passed it. And I refused. My parents were like, you cannot ride a bike without a helmet. And so I walked for an entire year everywhere that I went to just be like, fuck you then. I'm just going to walk. I won't do it.
I never wore a bike
Show
helmet
them,
until I was an
John.
adult. I don't know.
You never
now
wore it?
I do. I will wear one, but when I was growing up, we never wore helmets. No.
I know if you've been roller skating as an adult, it's terrifying.
Yo, I can imagine. I used to roller skate a lot.
Terrifying.
I rollerbladed, yeah.
Me too.
Halloween Babies podcast. I don't actually know what that is, but they say my mom used to buy me condoms in Zima. So
Oh my lord. Hello.
I do remember Zima. I remember a couple parties.
Did they also bring ladies to the house? Like,
I remember a couple of parties where enormous amounts of Zimas were ingested. And
oh my
probably
god.
vomited
I think I've had one Zima in my life. Yeah.
Okay. We got a good one here. Since this film is from his daughter, are there any other notable horror filmmakers from families that you would recommend from your one and only fan in Taiwan?
Well, we have 3 Cronenbergs making movies now, which
That's where I went. Yeah.
yeah. Didn't a Carpenter one of the Carpenter children, or he does like music with one of his kids or something? I don't know. Eric, I feel like would know the answer to this.
John Carpenter, he makes music with his son Cody.
Okay.
He's not a filmmaker. Their
But Cody
music
doesn't
is
do
fucking
film.
amazing though. All that modern John Carpenter stuff they do as like a collaborative thing with a third person. Oz Perkins, Mike says.
But maybe Anthony directed something? I actually don't know.
Did you mention John the Cronenberg?
Yeah. Well, the Cronenbergs. That's
I think Brandon Cronenberg is the answer.
Yeah. Well, would I
He's probably
recommend?
the
I mean,
best
sure.
Nepo.
I even thought the
Yeah.
lady Cronenberg,
The Caitlin
whose name I can't
Cronenberg.
remember. Yes,
Yeah.
her movie was also fun. So
And the Addams family, I think, who made like Hellbender, and they make them all together though.
yeah. And I only half recommend them.
Oh,
They're
really
fun.
like
No,
them.
they're very interesting, but like not for everyone.
No. Musically pretty great, though, I have to say.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, we love them over at Zombie Girls. So
I'm aware.
Yes.
That's like I think I didn't even know. I mean, I guess they've only been making movies a little while, but
Next up, this is from Metal Prof. When you are not watching horror, what is your favorite sport to watch on TV?
I mean, I watch the most baseball probably.
Interesting. I'm probably football. I do enjoy watching soccer, but it's just impossible to it's spread across every different service.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of easy ways to watch it unless you follow it really closely, which I don't.
We got
But
Euro, dude.
But
Euro
I played
coming up.
soccer my whole life, so I genuinely enjoy watching it.
And I should look. Euro starts on Friday, I think. Is the first game, the Euro Cup?
If you are into horror and sports, there's a whole sports channel on our Slack with all the fans, the sports fans in there getting together.
and I am basketball because I'm from Oakland.
There you go.
Nice.
So
Who's
we're in Warriors territory. So
Warriors. Okay, love it.
big Warriors. Yeah, Rachel and I, after one of our hikes, went to the local coffee shop. Did she tell you this? And we walked in and I was like, Rachel, that's Klay Thompson. And she's like, I don't know who that is, but he's very handsome. He's
It's true.
It's not
Very
exactly
handsome
where you guys
person.
are, but looking like the Sonics might be coming back at some point.
Yeah, they got
Give me some '90s nostalgia. All right. Let's see. Just want to preface this question by saying I'm solidly on Team Hell House LLC, although I've only gotten around to watching the first two. When are people going to learn how dangerous that dang hotel is and stop going there? It's a good question. The third one is not great, and I was just talking about that prequel last week, which is pretty good. But it's in a new place. It's in a different house.
Oh,
it's called
if it
Hell House LLC 3 Origins: Carmichael Manor.
Wait, so is it like the same demon, but was that a previous location?
You know, I was
The
not
rent got
watching
too
it
damn high,
super
you know?
closely, but it actually tells the origin story of some of the clowns. 'Cause
I'm
those are
always
their-
where did these clowns come
The
from?
clown
My
spirits
demon
are
hotel.
featured very prominently.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did Levi here. John says Anthony Perkins directed Psycho 3.
Oh, I think I knew that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And Rich is disappointed there's no hockey fans. Doesn't do it for me. I do like Mighty Ducks. Does that count? Like the movie.
Why not?
Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's it from Threads. I don't understand how to use this platform. It's very strange. But
Sorry if we missed your thread. And,
let's go to
Casey will get it in
Instagram.
the future.
A platform that I understand. Grim says, "Do you find Ashana? Do you think Ashana found the script in her dad's bin?" I assume this person is British. Bin.
Yeah, or maybe she thinks there's just a bin. It's not, I guess trash can. Yeah, it's better than. He's just got a big old stack.
We kind of already did this, I guess. Best horror movie involving or produced involving nepotism.
Oh
Like
well,
a
that list
possessor.
would be a lot longer list.
Well, produced and yeah, yeah.
I'd have to do
Everyone
more
in Hollywood.
research. But
Yeah.
That's not a question. That's not a question. Just because you have a question mark on it, if you're still telling a joke, that doesn't. It's yes and, John.
Is the joke funny? You can
No,
read it. Oh,
not.
well then that's up to you.
not.
That's your call as the reader.
Paulie says, "Would it be more of a family signature twist if this movie had been good?" So, do we think there'll be another
Yes.
twist at the end of that movie, the Josh Hartnett? What's the twist?
I do,
twist?
'cause
That
they
his
showed
daughter
you
is
the twist. They-
Also, a serial killer.
Yeah.
She's in on it. That's my prediction right now.
No, she's like, that's my mom, and they're really into SM. And he's not a serial killer.
No, my
I have a
prediction.
prediction.
My prediction is going to be that the daughter is like in on his serial killing. Go ahead, Matilda.
My prediction is that the pop star is some kind of serial killer hunter and will
Oh,
come down from stage and like
amazing.
get into it with him. Yeah.
That would be so good. That would be so good. Why are they this whole movie?
It's either
I
going to
can't
be
wait.
great or terrible, and either way I'm in. Yeah.
No, the chances of it being good are very slim. It's
Yeah.
very slim. Again, why do they have a stadium full of people surrounded by police and armored vehicles to catch one person? Like,
That are very visible. Like, if you're a parent, are you dropping your daughter off at this thing that's surrounded by armored vehicles?
yeah. Can we just figure out what coffee store the guy likes to go to?
Right, presumably they have some idea who he is. What do they say? Like, oh, we know he plans to be here. You know where he plans to be? Then how? Like, then
Yeah.
you must know some other detail about him.
Then
if
don't
you
put
know
him in
where
a
he plans
stadium
to be.
full of children.
It's yeah.
And the worst part is, like, I know we have to do it.
Oh
We
yeah.
have to review it, and I'm already upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last question, John, you nasty little freak. Have you ever been caught watching or caught someone watching you?
Yes.
This is different from the caught masturbating question we had a couple weeks ago, where Rachel had the most insane answer I could possibly.
Well, that was we need a whole separate show just to unpack that situation. But
You said yes, John. What go?
I think it was my college roommate definitely had at some point. There was a lot of
Watched
shenanigans.
you and a lady.
That would have been. I don't know.
What are you
that
getting
that
at, John?
has
I need
ever happened.
details.
Well, like an intimate moment, with the internet, so to speak. I don't know. My parents, in high school, we used to hook up with a lady friend, and we were one time, my family was home. I don't know. We were just like,
Yeah.
couldn't control ourselves or something. I can't remember if it was my mom or my sister came in, but I had a lofted bed, and we were in the lofted bed, and it was like out of line of sight of the door. So like the door opens, you have like that moment where it's like, all right, like get your
My
shit
parents
together.
like kind of knew, and they would like call without looking in.
Yeah. Or the like we're knocking, or like we're like
Yeah.
opening the door just to be
Yeah.
like, hey, what's going on?
That's the privilege of like being a boy, I think.
Yeah,
Like
I
having your
probably.
parents just kind of be like hands off. I did once have a friend at a high school party, like after hours at a party, pretend that he was asleep so as to not interrupt the situation that I had happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next morning when she left, he started verbatim repeating things that were said.
Oh, no, that's not good.
I was like, oh, thanks, buddy, for pretending you were asleep. We were closer after that.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's my story. What are we doing next week, John?
We're finally gonna watch The First Omen.
Nice.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's streaming on Hulu, I think. I like pulled up a streaming service the other day and was flipping through.
You're gonna have to
and I was
send me
like,
your Hulu if that's the case, John.
oh, come on, man. All right, we'll figure it out for you, bud. Don't worry.
This has been really built up for me, so if I don't like it, you're all gonna hear it.
It is on Hulu, just to be clear. Look, people have said nice things about it to me, and I'm just like trying to block it out and go in fresh. But I hear you. I know where you're at.
Love it. Matilda, where can people find you when you are not here?
When I'm not here, I'm over at the Zombie Girls with Rachel and Ariel, which is GRRLZ. You can find us on all platforms. I think maybe Threads. I don't know about Threads yet. So
Who can say?
yeah, who can say?
Hard to know.
It's true. All right, y'all. That's gonna do it. Hope you enjoy the show, and we'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.